Witcher 3 is a game that I've played and replayed many times. I remember spending hours in front of the TV constantly googling the meaning of words. You could probably argue that I was studying the Oxford Dictionary more than I was playing the game. It is a game that I have very fond memories of. For example, that time you try to help someone who appears to be a damsel in distress, only for her to berate you by saying, "You have ruined it now." Or that time you have to go look for a statue's aubergines. Or that time you have to go save Tala from a group of very smart and dashing trolls. If you have experienced the game, you'll know that Witcher 3 is massive and has many quests, all of which are, if not unique, then definitely memorable in their own ways. I regularly find myself thinking about a certain quest. When I lay down in my bed and stare at the white ceiling above me, at those awkward moments between being awake and falling asleep, I sometimes think about the quest where the cat and wolf play. Let me walk you through this quest. You pick up a contract to rid a village, Oniton, of their plight. The contract says the village is being haunted by a devil or a monster, and anyone who saves them will have the profoundest gratitude and a sizable reward. With that, you make your way to Oniton. As you get closer to the village, you hear nothing. An eerie silence floods the village. You stand at the village's entrance. The silence washes over you. You sharpen your witcher senses. Deep in the village, you hear a familiar sound. Necrophages. You can hear them shatter bones and tear flesh off corpses. You have heard it many times, but it never stops making you feel sick. You quietly walk towards the feast being held at the center of the village. As you get closer, you see them eating a man wearing blue trousers and a yellow jacket. Your eyes fall on the man's face, his eyes lifelessly staring far into the distance, past you, the village, the woods surrounding the village, and the godforsaken land that is Velen. None of it matters to him anymore. He's free of it all. For a moment, you see yourself lying down there, with a man, free of all that bounds you to this life. All that makes you, you. But you still have business in this world. There is someone you need to find. You hear a scream. No, a shriek. It seems the hosts have finally noticed you. Alguls, you say under your breath, recalling the knowledge that has been drilled into your every fibre of existence. The knowledge that has kept you alive. The hosts have come to greet you, their spines raised, their claws pointing forward. You draw your silver sword, cast Axii, and get ready to dance a ballet you have danced many times. Your body almost moves on its own. You swing the sword, and heads roll. The hosts are set free. They become part of the feast. You walk closer to the man with blue trousers. You run your eyes over him, or what's left of him. The necrophages have feasted on him, but it's clear they were not the ones who freed him. You look around. A big house, certainly bigger than the rest of the huts that are barely standing, is a few meters away. The door has been swung open. Through the door, you can see a woman. Her head is cocked against the wall, her back pushing against an old cupboard. Her worn green dress has been dyed red with blood. You walk inside and squat before her. You can see the wound. It's clean, precise, and cold. It is clearly a sword wound. You hear fire cracks coming from the kitchen to your right. An empty iron pan lies on the stove, radiating heat. The woman before you must have placed it there. You can see a spectre. No, an afterimage of a life lived standing before the stove. There she stands, in her green dress, her hair tied neatly in a bun, wondering what she would make for lunch today. You can see her smile. She walks away from the stove, and now is sitting before you, her eyes closed, her body motionless, and her mind dark, her face twisted in horror. You get to your feet and look around. To your left, you can see a room separated from the rest of the house by a step. A Leshen's head lies on the floor. Its antlers, once proudly overshadowing its prey, have been broken. Someone has clearly rid this village of what had been blighting it. You leave the house. The eerie silence floods your ears once more. You wonder if you should just leave. You walk around the village, bodies all cut down with cold as steel, with precision, filter paths and huts. Oniton, perhaps once a lively village in the heart of Velen, is now nothing but a tomb. As you walk past the barn, you smell a familiar scent. One you have come to rely on throughout your journeys as a witcher. Alcohol, earthball and wolfsbane. The fact that you can smell it from where you stand proves a witcher had taken this potion. A human wouldn't last taking such a dose. You enter the barn. Blood mixed with hay and excrement covers the ground. You notice one of the victims is clutching something in his hand. You forcefully pry open his hand and look inside. You find a medallion. One that a witcher from the school of Cat would wear. Light footsteps echo from behind you. You run outside, but all you find is a doll. An old, crudely made doll sits in a puddle of mud. Not so different from all the bodies sprawled all across the village. You pick up the doll and look around. From where the doll had fallen, shallow footsteps lead to the nearby woods. As you reach the last of the shallow footsteps, you hear a heart beating wildly. It is a small heart sending warm blood all across a small body. You slowly turn and look at the owner of the heart. A girl, maybe 10 years of age, is hiding behind an old tree. She has closed her eyes, hoping desperately that if she doesn't see you, surely you wouldn't see her either. Her small hands are clenched hard, covered in cold sweat and mud. Her clothes are worn and have been mended many times, but you can see the love the mender has put in their work. You slowly approach her. "You have nothing to fear, I just want to talk to you," you say in your hoarse voice. The girl's small frame trembles at your voice. Her heart beats as fast as a baby sparrow who has become face to face with a cat, a figure so terrifyingly large that a small mind can't possibly comprehend, let alone confront. "Leave me alone!" the girl cries with all her being. You can see it in her small eyes. She has borne witness to the horrors that unfolded in Oniton. You kneel before the girl to make yourself smaller. "I don't mean you any harm," you say, softening your voice. She looks at you. Her trembling eyes scan your face, evaluating the truthfulness of your claim. She goes over your brow, your nose, the wrinkles on the side of your eyes, and finally, her gaze meets your eyes. "You have the same eyes as him." She forces out the words out of her visibly shaking body. You are suddenly reminded of all the times cats hissed at you as you walked past them, all the times that people's faces twisted in fear and disgust as they saw your eyes. Your cat eyes. A curse bestowed upon you by your creators. "Who is him? The bad man who killed everyone?" She shakes her head, silently crying, unable to go on, unwilling to relive the horror. You bring out the doll. "Is this yours?" The girl's eyes relax for a moment. A familiar doll, a reminder of a time when she had a home, a family, when she felt safe, when things were normal, is held in front of her. She clearly wants the doll back, but she's too terrified to ask for it. "What's his name?" "Mr. Freckleface. Please give him back." You hand over Mr. Freckleface to the little sparrow trembling before you. She hugs him, pressing him against her small face, her small fingers burrowing into the wool, filling Mr. Freckleface. Perhaps, as she had done as she witnessed the horrors. "Our woods were haunted. Uncle said we should fetch a witcher, so one came. He brought us this spook's head. Uncle wasn't happy about something, so they shouted and cursed, and then they went to the barn." She recalls the events, but it stops at the edge of the nightmare that is threatening to flood her small world with blood once more. "He let me go. I don't know why. He went towards the circle in the woods." The girl goes quiet. "You stay here. Don't go anywhere. I need to see to this bad man." You tell the little trembling sparrow as you make your way towards the circle. "See to this bad man, huh? he said to the little sparrow, but what does that even mean? What will you do to this man? There is no fixing this. As you approach the circle, you see a man clad in the armour of the School of Cat, clutching hard a wound on his side. He notices you as well. His cat eyes meet yours. You look forward, your gaze unwavering, your gait steady, ready for whatever this might lead to. Wolf, what do you want? This yours? You show him the medallion. Come all this way to hand me my medallion. Craft Solidarities is still alive, I see. Honorton. What happened? What's it to you? We'll see about that. Now get talking. Do you know how much they wanted to pay me for the lesson? 12 bloody crowns. 12! We'd agreed to several times over that. I tell them they either pay me, or else they will hope they had the lesson back. Then they go and whisper in each other's ears, and then come back and tell me they've got some gold hidden in the barn. I fell for it. I fell for it like a fucking idiot. We went to the barn and one of them stabbed me with a pitchfork as the other chattered away. I admit, I lost it. I lost it bad. Why did you let the girl go? He looks unwilling to share, but your irate face and the wound at his side give him no choice but to share. She reminded me of my sister. She looked like her when I was taken away to the school. Now you know how the quest goes. But the question is, what will you do with it? Will you punish him for his actions, or do you think the villagers got what they deserved for being greedy backstabbers? Well, I for one am no judge, and I don't think the war-torn Velen is exactly where a court hearing can be held. No matter what you choose to do, the whole thing leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It reminds me of the fact that we live in a twisted world that twists everyone into their worst versions. It brings out the worst aspects and tendencies lurking inside people's hearts. If you have lived long enough, you too may have felt like you want to make the bastards who have made your existence a miserable one feel weak and powerless. You want to make them suffer just as they made you suffer. You want to give in to that primal, wild, and indiscriminately cruel part of your heart and let it run free. It feels so good. When you hand over the reins to it and just let it wreak havoc on everything and everyone that made you feel weak, that broke you, that made you what you are. They finally get a taste of all the poison they fed you. It feels so good. When you hear them cry like little shits that they are, and then you squeeze, and then it all just stops. The scratches on my hand hurt and I feel so empty. So empty. So alone. I'm so tired. What I wouldn't give for a wink of sleep. I can see the fear in their eyes. And where I felt a thunderous roar, it's just quiet. Painfully quiet. Painfully empty. I feel tattered, like a volcano that erupted, and now all that's left of it is just weak, powerless pieces of rock. Over the years, I've had my struggles with rage control, but thankfully I've managed to avoid hurting others, albeit I've hurt myself plenty of times. You know, punching the wall or the ground. I always wondered if others felt such an overwhelming sense of rage, but as I grew up, I learned that it was probably just me. So I decided to hide it. And I got really good at hiding it. You know, burying it all deep inside a grave, so deep, not even Sherlock Holmes would be able to find it. I learned how to keep a straight face, how to speak politely, how to charm people. Just to make sure the sparrows wouldn't notice I'm a bit of a cat. Or maybe I have a cat inside me. Sure, I can go see a therapist. I can try to get rid of the monster. But after all this time, I feel like I kinda like it. I like what we've got going on. I lended my body and let it thrash out a bit, and in return, I get to feel a little better, a little saner. I've learned how to control it a bit as well, so hopefully it's not going to do anything too bad. You could say, we suit each other. We deserve each other. Monster and I. I wonder if Geralt likes his monster. He's the Butcher of Blavikins after all. I'm pretty sure the Witcher from the School of Cat loves his monster though. Look at all those bounties on the wall. So, some nights I wonder, is that going to be my end? Or am I going to be able to walk this narrow line between sanity and absolute cruelty? I would love to know how you deal with your monsters though, so be sure to comment. Now, I'm going to go dance with my monster.